In April of 2024, two podcasters disappeared in the Hilton in Parsippany, New Jersey, while recording a podcast. Days later, their footage was found. This is Horror for the Holidays.
Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays. And no matter how far away you roam, if you pine for the sunshine of a friendly gaze, for the holidays you can.
Welcome back to Horror for the Holidays, a Christmas horror movie podcast. I'm Jay Logston.
And I'm Jeff Sears.
And we are coming to you live from Short Hills, New Jersey.
Indeed, in the Hilton.
In the Hilton, because I don't know, something about Hiltons. I don't know. There's two rooms. I thought it would maybe be better for like setting up our podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Have more space.
I mean, you were right.
Yeah. But yeah, we another stocking stuffer coming to you guys this week. As we do kind of recount our half the trip, and if the second half of this podcast doesn't make it out, that means that we didn't make it back.
Ooh.
But we'll talk about all the nonsense we got up to on our road trip. Anything exciting that happened? What happened at the Chiller Theater Expo?
Yes.
And stuff that we did the rest of the time here.
The horror of meeting William Shatner.
The horror of being close to a line for people who wanted to meet William Shatner.
And then we saw his price list. We're even more spooked than before.
Oh man, it was ridiculous. But no, we left. What was it? Thursday morning, the afternoon.
Thursday around noon.
Yeah, and so we headed out. We'll post pictures on the Instagram of kind of all the nonsense we got up to. We've already posted some of the stuff already. But basically, Jeff and I we left about noon. We're gonna drive until I don't know, we're bored.
Yeah. Well, first we said we have to stop and hit that restaurant in Davenport.
Yeah, we went to Portillo's. Jeff had never been to Portillo's before. I'm a big Portillo's fan.
I am now also a big Portillo's fan.
Yeah, get those Chicago dogs. Get the Italian beef. Jeff got the rodeo burger.
Yes, it is not to be missed.
No, Portillo's is great. As we were leaving, I was like, oh shit. I missed that the lemon strawberry cake shake was was back in stock.
Maybe it'll still be back on our way back that
way. We'll see. We might have to stop again on our way back.
Portillo's Part 2.
Portillo's.
It's almost like we're a couple of fat bastards, Jay.
Foreshadowing. We'll get to that. So then we kept driving, made it through, Illinois, made it through Chicago during the outskirts of Chicago during rush hour. That was a bit of a nightmare, but wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing I was most worried about on this trip was the driving, and especially the driving in the big cities. And you had assured me that like the New Jersey area we're in isn't too bad, and you're 100% correct. It's not. But Chicago was probably the worst.
Yes. Yeah, New Jersey was not what I imagined it to be like, because I had been out here once before with my wife.
Yeah, but no, it's not that bad. I mean, it's certainly busier than the Des Moines area, but like it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But no, we stopped for the night in Toledo. I made Jeff suffer through multiple NFL draft picks as I was waiting for the Packers to pick a left tackle. Actually, I'm pleased with the choice, but whatever. And then Jeff was just like mocking all the interviews where the players clearly didn't want to be doing these interviews.
So, sir, tell us your life story. I played football before, and now I want to play football again, but for the NFL.
Yeah, I like playing football, and I want to make money doing it. We stopped in Toledo for the night. There was no restaurants near us.
Not even a single one.
So we had to stop. We had to order in Checkers/Rallies. Pretty good. I'd never had Checkers before.
Solid dinner.
And then woke up the next morning, hit the road again, stopped at Steak and Shake, got some Steak and Shake.
Bear in mind that Jay Logston is dying of the plague this entire trip.
Yeah, my kids gave me something. I don't know what it is. Doctors gave me some pills. I mean, I'm doing better today than I've done most of this trip. Certainly better than I was on Thursday. We then yeah, we left Thursday, driving through Ohio, got into Pennsylvania. We're like, man, we're
Yeah.
almost there. And then it just took forever.
Yeah, so we looked it up. Pennsylvania is 178 miles across, and we ended up winding through about 310 miles of mountain highways to get across it.
It took so goddamn long. I just kept waiting for, like, all right, is this going to be where it turns to New Jersey? No. Is this going to be when it turns to New Jersey? No. Just kept going on and on
The
and on.
answer, Jay, is no. There is no New Jersey.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to just be like we were stuck there.
Well, I hope we enjoy living in Pennsylvania. I mean, that's how Mike Lombardo got trapped in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
And we'll talk about Mike at the
He's
end here.
actually on his way to New Jersey.
Um, Also, we what we completely forgot to do. We forgot to go look for the toy factory from Christmas Evil for a real New Jersey Christmas,
Oh boy.
a real New Jersey Christmas.
We did see a few Christmas themed items on our way through Pennsylvania, though.
There was Snowshoe, Pennsylvania.
There was a deer crossing sign somebody drew a red nose on.
Snowshoe. It's instantly. I think we saw the sign for Snowshoe, and Jeff and I both turned to each other. We were like, Snowminton.
And then, like, what, 10 miles after that, there was a tree farm.
Yeah, great stuff. No, I'd be willing to maybe go check that, look into it a little bit, maybe go check that out later. We got into New Jersey about 7:30 at night or whatever. Checked in. The people instantly were like, "Oh, these guys don't belong here at this Hilton."
A couple of fat bozos at the
Yeah,
Hilton.
these big dumb fatsos, these fat bastards. Got ourselves some real New York slices
Yeah,
and went to bed so we could wake up bright and early and do the pièce de résistance, the whole purpose of the trip,
the Chiller Theater Expo.
so we could meet Robert Brian Wilson and Eric Freeman.
Garbage day.
Oh, and it was a
It was
garbage
a
day.
garbage day indeed.
We got up about 9 a.m. or so. Um, had to talk to family members because apparently there were a whole bunch of tornadoes and stuff
Yes.
in our area of Des Moines yesterday.
We were the only thing holding Iowa together.
Yeah, we leave and everything falls apart. No one thanks us for keeping stuff normal.
Exactly.
Our gravity well kept all the weather at bay.
I was going to say, wherever I live, no tornadoes can come within 50 miles.
So we got an Uber. We had 3 Uber rides today, because we're gonna do an impromptu other half of the stocking stuffer for because of one of our Uber rides.
Yes.
But we did 3 Uber rides today. Best Uber ride was the first one. The guy didn't say a word to us. Just sat there quietly, dropped us off on our location, and left.
Yes. Amazing.
We'd heard some rumors online that the Chiller Theater Expo was like being blocked by a marathon that was running through,
A 5K, Jay.
and so we were like, "Oh shit!" How like
Apparently, that was the route coming in from New York.
okay,
So we were already, see, we planned ahead. We were already in New Jersey.
yeah, we had a couple New Jersey guys. We got in. We tracked down Spencer, and very nice guy. It was really nice to meet Spencer.
It was good to have a guide on the ground.
Yep, Spencer and his friend Rob, both just real sweethearts of dudes. We were hoping to run into Matt Dupay, but he had got called into work, so we missed out on seeing him. But Spencer, showed us around, kind of walked around. Great to talk to him. Just a real stand up guy. Not nice to meet fans. Just know that what we're doing actually has people
Yes.
listening that aren't our family members.
Someone actually cares.
Yeah, someone who's not our family members that are humoring us actually cares about us.
Yeah.
And so we got in line. We got in line. There was only Eric Freeman there at the time, and so we got in line, stood there for a while. Robert Brian Wilson walks up to sit next to him, and like, okay, so a kind of a second line formed for Robert Brian Wilson. So we're like, all right, we'll finish Eric Freeman's line, go to Robert Brian Wilson's line. So we go through. Eric Freeman was the sweetest guy.
Yeah,
Like,
he was really nice to talk to.
for a guy who, I mean, like we said on our Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 episode, like was ready to hang up acting, didn't want to be talked to about this movie, like, was ashamed of this movie. Like, I think was more or less the conception of it.
Yeah.
And just the nicest guy.
No, he really was.
And I I think was so happy that so many people came out and enjoyed Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, enjoyed his performance. shook our hands, took pictures with us, signed some things, gave Jeff and I magnets, which were really really cool.
Yep.
And just a just a real sweetheart of a guy. Also saw a dude who had a like garbage day like wall hangy.
Yeah, of him with the gun from the end.
It
Yeah.
was so I was so jealous of that.
But yeah, no, he was a really nice guy. I'm glad we met him. They say don't meet your heroes, Jay, but in this case it worked out.
Yeah, well, there was one hero that I didn't meet. We'll get to that.
But Robert Brian Wilson, also nice.
Yeah, no, so then we got out of line so we could get back in. We could go to Robert Bryan Wilson's line, except now Eric Freeman and Robert Bryan Wilson were sharing the same line, so we had to wait in Eric Freeman's line again so we could get to Robert
Yeah.
Bryan Wilson's line. But he was also just a very very nice guy, just genuinely nice to talk to. Like I could not, those Chapman parents, they're dead, but I mean they raised two good boys,
Yes, indeed.
regardless of what Mother Superior says.
Oh my God, is that Billy Caldwell? No, wait, that's Billy Chapman.
Whoever they are, whoever those
But
nice young
yes,
boys are. No,
they
they turned out great.
they at least humored us. They didn't make fun of us, so that was nice.
No, and I was just they were just they were I think being kind of low budget movie stars,
Hmm.
they genuinely care about people coming out to see them and stuff, and I think that really helped.
All right, Jay, let's get to the bulk of the problem of this convention.
There were a lot of people.
There was a ton of people, but there were a ton of people there to see one specific person, William Shatner, who was there from 10 to 3, I believe. And his line had already stretched like out of the hotel and onto the lawn before he even got there.
When our Uber pulled up, the line was already stretched like out of the convention center, and we were like, and so you and I pulled up, and we were like, are we gonna have to wait in that line? And then so we kind of like walked past it and walked to another entrance, got right in, no issues. Like,
Mhm.
okay, that's weird. And then that's when like I heard someone say like, oh, that's the line for Shatner.
Yeah. And let's just break this down for people. How much was he charging, Jay?
So was it 130 each?
Yes, it was 130. So, like, let's use Eric Freeman as an example. Eric and Robert both.
Yeah,
Uh,
$40.
$40, and that was for an autograph on anything you wanted and a picture with them.
Yeah, if you wanted one of the pictures they were selling, they were a little bit more,
Yeah,
but
you had to pay $10 to get the poster or the picture you wanted.
yeah,
Yeah, but if you brought your own thing, it was 40, and then you also got a picture included with that. Shatner was $130 to sign something, and an additional $130 if you want a picture with him. But Jay, if you do both, tell them the deal they're gonna get.
he'll give you $10 off.
Oh wow, $250.
I sent the pricing of that and then the pricing of Walter Koenig, who was also there, and like what Walter was $60 for
Yes.
each.
Yes. Like so yes, I completely think that Jay is on the right track. Shatner showed up, saw what Walter was selling his stuff for, doubled it, and that's when he made his price. And they're literally right next to each other too.
Also, getting back to Don't Meet Your Heroes. I was in the same room as Chris Kattan, but I did not talk to him because they say don't meet your heroes.
Mm.
I want a signed picture of Chris Kattan. I don't actually want to meet Chris Kattan.
And Chris Kattan we actually watched him meet Dylan McDermott.
Yeah, oh, he was having the time of his life talking to Dylan McDermott.
Dylan McDermott looked like he was having a not so great time
He's
talking
like,
to Chris
he's like,
Kattan.
oh great, Chris Kattan's here.
But that's at least Chris Kattan had fun, I guess.
But I did pass on the gospel of Corky Romano to Spencer and his friend Rob. I'm like,
Yes.
you guys got to watch it. It's actually pretty good.
And no, this is not just something he does at conventions. He talks about this all the time.
I mean, Corky. That's the thing. It started as a joke with some friends where we were together drinking beers, and I went, guys, you know what movie really holds up? Corky Romano. And they're like, no, it doesn't. It never held up in the first place.
It was never up, Jay. It's always been down.
And so ever since then, it's became my mission to ironically talk about how much I enjoyed the movie Corky Romano. It's actually still pretty good, but how much I love the movie is a big joke.
I'm gonna have to watch this movie so I can judge for myself.
It's the opposite of the Lando Calrissian thing that I've told you about, where my friend said no one likes Lando, and I went, I do. In fact, I love Lando. He's my favorite character. And then Lando became my favorite character in Star Wars. But that's legitimate. where the Corky Romano thing's just a joke.
Now, you see, I thought it would be funny for you to take him a copy of Little Nicky to sign. And you're like, wait a minute, you're not in this one?
No, I brought a copy. So we had this moment when we were on the road where I went, oh fuck, Shatner's in A Christmas Horror Story.
Yeah,
So we could have waited in line just to be like, oh, it's Dangerous Dan himself.
yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what he's most famous for in the last 20 years. So,
And then but it's like I thought about doing that, but by the time made our way out here, there was no turning back for that. But I had brought my copy of Santa's Sleigh. But when we walked by Chris Kattan's booth, he wasn't there. So
yeah.
no real loss.
Yeah. And I think he was charging 80 for his,
Yeah,
which, I mean, I don't know, Chris Kattan. Might need to reevaluate that price.
when for $80 I got to meet both Robert Brian Wilson and Eric Freeman. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Chris Kattan, you're a C-list star in Santa's Sleigh.
Yes,
Like,
in what, like a minute
yeah,
of the
yeah,
movie?
maybe 5 minutes of the opening of Santa Sleigh. These are the stars of the Silent Night, Deadly Night franchise.
Yes.
But no, I had a blast. It
No.
was very packed. It was very crowded. But
Yes, but like we said, luckily we had Spencer to guide us around.
yeah,
He seems like more of a con guy than we are.
yeah, no, he knew what he was doing, and no, I think he said he does these kind of things all the time.
Hmm.
We talked to him about maybe trying to make his way out to Trek Fest sometime or do something
Definitely,
for
yeah.
his son's a big Chicago Cubs fan, so they're going to try and do like an iCubs game, and certainly, I told him we'd meet up with him at some point if they ever wind
Oh
up doing
yeah,
that.
we
So,
definitely could.
but no, just like I said, can't reiterate enough how nice it is to like meet someone who actually enjoys this podcast as opposed
Indeed.
to our family members.
Oh, can we talk about the weird goons they have at these things that are like watching the stars that feel like they're imprisoning them?
It's such a it's I mean I get why they are
I
there.
Yes, but it's like especially the one that was at the Silent Night Deadly Night table. It's like, who is this guy? Why does he look so unhappy collecting $40 a signature?
No, yeah, it's just this guy wearing like a
A Zima shirt
yeah
too.
for Zima, and he like just kind of standing there just like you're standing in line to meet Robert Ryan Wilson, $40. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but it was just yeah,
$40. You two fatzos together? Fine.
yeah, you guys together to meet Robert. All right, that's fine.
Ah,
But no, I think what my couple complaints. I've only been to a handful of conventions before, and I mean,
same.
so whatever. But like maybe have some better way to like kind of coordinate people. All the main celebrities kind of had their own little like lines,
Yeah.
but it was just like the lines for all the minor celebrities just kind of ebbed and flowed.
We need like some arrows on the ground or some like roped off areas where people can wait or something.
Yeah, but I mean, otherwise, no, it was great. I mean, they were both a blast. Like,
Yes.
I mean, that's what I keep coming back to. I literally texted my wife. I'm like, they were the sweetest guys. Like they don't have to take the time to talk to everybody, but they made sure to talk to every single person,
Yes.
and they were just so happy to see how many people came out to see him.
Yes. I do not regret meeting
So then it was about noon, 1 o'clock or so, and we were like, well, we've kind of seen everything we want to see. We
things are starting to get crowded. We've walked the merch area with Spencer, and at that point, we'd loop back around to see if you could get close to Corky Romano.
but he had already left,
And
and we saw that Shatner line, and we were just like, all right, well, we're gonna go kind of walk around outside.
because I had intended to try to get my dad a Shatner autograph, but one, I was under the impression he was charging $80 for autographs because that's what he was doing before at the last convention he was at, apparently.
Oh, geez.
Which lends more credence to your he adjusts his price based on the other people there.
Yeah, if another Star Trek person's here, I gotta make sure my price is more,
Plus, he was the biggest celebrity there, I think.
quote unquote.
Which yes, that's relative, but I mean, as far as mainstream celebrities go, I think he was probably the biggest one there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, yeah,
I
maybe.
mean, it would be close between him and Dylan McDermott, I would
Yeah,
say. But he had the big table and the big line. and so it was a nightmare to try and get anywhere near him.
Yep. So we just headed out.
I
We
honestly I couldn't believe how small Dylan McDermott's area is, and considering the amount of things he's been in.
Yep. No, that was wild. But yeah, we got an Uber to crosstown to Morristown,
Mm.
New Jersey, and we went to the AMC to see a little movie called Abigail. Time for an impromptu stocking stuffer within a stocking stuffer.
Oh, we got to talk about Abigail,
We're
Jay.
gonna talk about Abigail.
Let's talk about Abigail.
First things first, the AMC headquarters in Morristown, New Jersey, is a weird movie theater.
It is 10 theaters. Five of them are in the basement, and five of them are on the second floor. It has double concession stands, double bathrooms. Like it's a double movie theater, basically. It's built on top of itself.
I mean, not a bad movie. Also, I would have liked elevators. Like,
Yes. Well, there were elevators, but they were tucked off in a weird corner.
okay, I didn't even see those.
But yes, we did the stairs, which is a great sacrifice for us fatsos.
Yeah. Also, there was a Crunch Fitness right next door, just kind of taunting us, like,
Yes.
"Hey, you fatso should be in here,"
Yes.
but instead you're going to see a movie.
Nice. Oh,
Oh, time to walk Noble.
so it's time to walk the dog, Jay.
We're back.
Yes, we are back after that huge emergency.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, that guy from that fitness place was looking up at us like, "Oh God, look at those two fat bastards going in there to see a movie."
I know those guys aren't here to go to the Crunch Fitness. They're here to see Abigail.
Well, I think those guys crunch as popcorn.
And they were right. But we got in a pretty small theater, maybe like
Yeah,
10 rows.
yeah, I'd say probably like a 40-person
Yeah.
theater.
But I honestly a pretty good turnout for the middle of the day. I want to say there were probably about 10, 15 people in there.
Yeah, I'd say probably 15.
And so we got in and got our seats, and trailers started. Besides trailers we've talked about previously, like Quiet Place, Loud Place.
Yes, loud place.
We saw a trailer for Long Legs, which that looked really interesting.
Freaky, yes.
Yeah. Saw a trailer for Maxine.
You want to see that one?
Yep. A bunch of horror trailers. I was really impressed with the
Yeah.
number of horror trailers we had.
We got a lot of good stuff coming this year.
Now, we kind of talked about these the last time, talking about all the horror movies that are coming out this year. But yeah, those were the two that kind of stuck out to me.
What was that? There was a new trailer that we hadn't seen before. It wasn't the stupid M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong one.
Oh yeah, there was The Watchers. We saw the trailer for that. No, there was another trailer. I can't remember what it was.
I remember what happened in it, but I don't remember the name of the movie.
Do you want to start talking about it? Maybe I'll see if I can remember its name.
So it was they showed up at that farmhouse.
Oh, See No
and-
Evil.
Oh yes, okay.
The
Speak No
Yeah,
Evil.
the Blumhouse remake of Speak
Yes,
No Evil,
Speak No Evil. Because I was like, oh my God, is that Professor X?
a movie that just came out last year. Blumhouse is already doing a remake of it.
I don't know. It looks pretty interesting. I'll probably have to check it out.
I mean, yeah, I've heard I mean, certainly like the original version's great from everything I've heard. I mean, clearly, if Blumhouse is already making it.
Yeah.
Saw another trailer for Tarot, which Jeff and I were cackling like
Oh my
the
God.
maniacs
That's
during the
just
trailer.
our kind of trash. That's going to be a stock.
It looked so bad. But then the movie started, and oh man, Abigail was just as much fun as we were led to believe.
Yes.
Vampire Ballerina, great movie.
Great cast of stooges locked in the house with her.
First things they do is they need to set up a team, and
Yeah.
Jeff was like, "Son of a bitch, he's in."
Exactly. Anybody sets up a team, I'm in.
Yep. And so we're sitting there, we're watching this movie, just watching these bozos get picked off one by one by
Yeah.
this vampire ballerina.
Elon Musk's roided out brother was there.
Yeah.
We had the ex cop, the ex marine.
We had Melissa Barrera. We had Elon Musk's jacked brother. We had a girl that looked like the wrestler Ty Conti, and then we had a guy who to me looked like the wrestler Eddie Kingston, if like he lost weight but was also somehow way less charismatic.
Yes.
Like I love Eddie Kingston. That guy's great. This guy like had Eddie Kingston energy, but was nowhere near as cool as Eddie Kingston.
Don't worry, Jay. No one sucks in this movie for long.
That's true. And I mean, the person I liked the least did have the most. I think maybe one of the most brutal deaths in the movie.
Yes.
But I mean, man, there was some like hardcore punishment, some great goopy like gore effects,
Oh,
like
yeah.
blood explosions.
You
and
can
shit.
tell it wasn't CGI either, because the people get covered in the stuff.
it was fantastic. I wish we'd gotten more about that pool.
Yes,
I wish we'd heard more about that. I'm not going to spoil any more than that.
yes, and of course the ending, Jay. We gotta talk about that.
Oh, that was a great ending. I mean, I called it like I said.
Yes,
I had it on good authority that her dad was one Mister Dracula.
Mr. Dracula.
But I mean,
Well, fortunately, no one was able to splash his ass
it,
before he got in
I
there,
know
Jay.
Jeff and I were sitting there. We were like, "What are all these idiots doing? No one's trying to get her wet. You get a vampire wet and it kills him."
Yeah,
And they tried staking her. They tried putting her in sunlight. Yeah, no, vampires can't get wet.
yes, I learned that when I was watching the last Vampire the Diomedes.
That's why he was on the boat was because he couldn't get wet.
Yeah,
But no, it was great. It was such a fun
yes,
movie.
I really enjoyed Abigail.
Like I think with favorite character like real fast.
Out of the well, I say I enjoyed the Abigail character a lot.
I did
I
too.
say if I had to pick out of the Prey characters, I'd say my favorite one was probably Elon Musk's brother.
He was really funny. I loved the hacker girl, like
Yeah,
especially
she was
when
good
when
too.
her thing kind of turned.
Yeah,
Melissa Barrera did great. She was fantastic. I also loved the guy that they just named Don Rickles.
yes.
He was. I wish we'd gotten more with him.
Unfortunately, he sucked a little too hard,
Yeah,
Jay.
but when he gets got like those were some pretty gory effects. Like
Yes. This was like one of those fun concepts that they pitch in Hollywood but never actually gets made, but somehow it managed to get made this time.
no, they built such a fun universe. They built such like a unique connected universe for this movie, and
Mhm.
it's absolutely worth your time to go see. Like we're not going to do a full talk about this for 40 minutes or whatever, but
No, maybe someday, but
but
not now.
but yeah, but it was great. It was a lot of fun. Absolutely a movie that I think people need to see.
It was a movie, J Locks.
Yeah, it was a movie. It was a thing. It was a movie that people could see in theaters. But no, like yeah, when Abigail gets exposed to sunlight the first time, that
Oh
was
yeah,
great.
God, that was amazing. Just the effects in this movie are so good. Honest, I think that scene of her regrowing, because obviously vampires regenerate. We all know that. I think that might have been a practical effect.
It wouldn't surprise me. It kind of did look like maybe her she was like working a puppet or something.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But I'd say overall, very enjoyable, very worth going to see. I think it's nice to see the explosions and things on a giant theater screen.
I'm gonna put it like this: if you're a fan of M3gan, and specifically the scene in M3gan where M3gan is chasing the guy through the hallway while dancing, while doing a little TikTok dance, and
Yes,
then she kills him with a paper cutter where she ripped the blade off. I think that's how she kills the guy. If you're a fan of that scene in particular, you'll love Abigail. If you're
yes,
fans of little girls doing dances while they kill people,
yes. Also, if you're a fan of little girls making crunching sounds after they've been knocked over and reassembling their body, like M3gan also does, then you'll also like this.
also and another thing, like if that like you'll it didn't get as much laughs as I thought it should, but like there were some real funny lines in this
Oh
movie.
yeah,
Like I was sitting there, Jeff and I were laughing, and like everyone else was kind of quiet, but I'm like,
yes.
this is really funny.
We're over here laughing like a couple of fat bastards, and everybody else is stone faced.
Like I'm like, guys, lighten up. It's a
Yeah,
horror movie. Like, man, I don't want to see tarot with these people in the audience.
I
They're gonna
know.
they're gonna think it's actually scary.
Well, when you laughed at that beginning scene of Tara, that lady that was down the road from us looked over at you with disgust.
It looks so silly. Oh my god, it looks like one of the Conjuring movies, and
Oh,
not the first one. It looks
I
like
was
all the
gonna say,
later ones
yeah.
that are much much
Looks
worse.
like a Conjuring 3 type film.
It does. But no. I mean, Jeff, if you opened your stocking Christmas morning and your wife or Santa Claus or one of your nieces or nephews had put a copy of Abigail in your stocking, would you be happy to get that?
I would be very happy to get that.
I would be happy to find Abigail in my stocking on
I'd
Christmas morning
probably
too.
do like a TikTok dance while I murdered everyone.
Yeah, there you go. I'd pay to see that. I'd pay to see Jeff do a TikTok dance.
Oh my god, Jeff's flossing on everything.
But no, it was fantastic. It was such a fun movie. We then got another Uber back to our hotel. Came back, settled in, and I guess we'll talk about why we keep mentioning the words "fat bastards."
Well, I mean, other than the fact that we are a couple of them.
Yeah, we found a taco place called like
It's Tito's Burritos and
yeah,
Wings.
and we were looking. We were trying to figure out something to eat. We're like, we don't want to leave. We're gonna record this podcast and kind of go get ready, go to bed so we can head out in the morning. And so we're like, well, we need to get something out, so let's figure out something to eat. That popped up, and then we saw one of their tacos was called the Fat Bastard,
And then our fate was sealed.
and it's like a foot long taco
Yes.
that like just this giant taco just
Giant.
dripping with like sauce.
Yes, it's a giant deep fried taco shell filled. The bottom layer is fries, then meat, then whatever other toppings you choose, then sour cream, then lettuce, and of course there was an option for extra cheese.
Yep. And it was, oh man, it was something else. It was, I
And
mean, I literally like took a bite and I was kind of holding it one side and then I looked down and I was like, oh my God, my taco juice is dripping all over my pants.
then so yes, we did feel like a couple of fat bastards eating
And
these.
then they knew we were real fat bastards when we got the
Yeah.
cookie dough empanadas to go
Yes.
with it.
So say, if you had any doubt, audience, that we were fat bastards, we ate a foot long taco and then washed it down with the two cookie dough empanadas.
Oh man, what a trip. Well, I kind of a short one this week. I mean, I think listeners probably expected that,
Yeah.
just with us saying we were going to be out of town and stuff like that.
Just wanted to give you guys an update from the road, let you
Yeah,
know what's going on.
and we'll hopefully be back next week with another stocking stuffer, and then we'll have a mainline episode after that. Also, one last thing before we do all of our normal plugs, where we stutter through talking about um, where to find us on social media and how to send us an email and all that stuff. Before we do all that, go out to Indiegogo, type in what is it called?
It's
Dead
called Dead Format,
Dead
or
Format,
VHS Dead Format, I believe.
or type in the name Mike Lombardo,
Yes.
and back his Indiegogo campaign for the movie Dead Format. He's making a new movie, Mike is, and it. I mean, it's going to be great. Watch the little video he made. It's fantastic. It's so
Yes.
much fun.
Well, we all knew Mike Lombardo hung out in the porn section of video stores, but now it's been confirmed on video.
It was so good. I started cracking up just at the beginning of that. I'm like, this is classic Mike humor. Like,
He hangs out in the porn section of the video store, but he only talks to you about Day of the Beast.
and speaking of Mike talking to us about Day of the Beast, probably not this upcoming mainline episode, but the one after that. Hopefully, we'll have Mike on so we can talk about Day of the Beast and he can plug Dead Format.
Yes,
That's the plan, at least.
that's the plan. The plans change, Jay, because the world is not enough for us fat bastards.
The world is not enough. And then, yeah, I don't know. Follow us on social media. We're at horror the number 4 holidays. We're almost all of the places, if not all of the places, even the places that might get taken down soon. We're at those places too. TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, X, all those places. Send us an email, horrorfortheholidays@gmail.com. Let us know how fat we are. Let us know how bad this episode is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
how terrible I sound because I'm sick. How bad our echoing sounds because we're in a different place trying to record an episode.
And watch us at youtube.com/horror for the holidays.
Yeah, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, which is the other subscribe.
Whoa, hit the brakes, Jay. I just got a news flash from our
Oh,
headquarters. Oh boy, they're not happy with us being fat bastards. Anyway, the actual, do you think we're getting out here without a quiz, Jay?
oh, I sure did, but all
Yeah,
right,
he looks defeated, but here we go.
all right, here we go.
Well, I thought in honor of another fat bastard we did not meet today, we would do a little quiz for you, Jay, about Shatner's career.
All right,
Was Shatner the first actor to play Captain Kirk?
no,
Correct.
I don't know the name of the guy who was Cap, but I think it was the pilot, right?
But you're not correct, Jay,
Oh,
because he is actually the first person to play Captain Kirk. The other guy was playing Captain Pine.
oh, darn. Okay,
He was not the first Star Trek captain, but he was the first person to play Captain Kirk.
Chris Pine, Captain Chris Pine, who plays Captain Kirk. All right, anyway.
All right. Was Shatner the first captain cast on Star Trek the motion picture.
Um, no. I mean, yes, it was his movie. I don't know. Yes, why not?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Oh, and it's not Captain Pine, Jay. I don't know why I said that. It's Captain Pike.
Oh, it's because you were busy thinking about how handsome
That's
Chris Pine
yes,
is.
that's true. That's true.
You were getting lost in his dreamy eyes just thinking about
Uh,
him.
did Shatner write this quiz? How many women did Kirk kiss on Star Trek,
Oh,
Jay?
I'm sure Shatner knows how many women he kissed on Star Trek. Well, there were tons of green women, and there was Uhura. So I'm gonna say,
I'll give you. I'll narrow it down for you. I'll give you three choices:
okay.
1, 19, or 48.
Well, I know it was more than one. I bet it's 19.
You are correct, sir. How many episodes of The Twilight Zone has William Shatner starred in?
How many episodes? Okay, so there's Terror at 40,000 feet.
There's something on the wing,
Yeah,
Jay.
and I think there's two more. So I'm gonna say three.
Incorrect.
Oh, okay.
He was in Nick of Time and Nightmare at 20,000 Feet.
Okay, darn. I thought there was one more he might have been in, but
Shatner hosted a reality-based series in the early 90s. What was it called?
is it not? Is it the one that was in Riverside where he pretended to be like an alien or something? Or was
There,
that later than that?
the options are Rescue 911, Unsolved Mysteries, and In Search of.
Oh, yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Where he like pranked Riverside, where he pretended to be from like Captain Kirk showing back up at Riverside. I don't know, something weird like that. Um, all that I'm stalling. I know it wasn't Unsolved Mysteries because that's Robert Stack.
Mhm.
Um, I'm gonna say Rescue 911.
You are correct,
All
sir.
right.
Shatner played a character named the Big Giant Head on which sitcom?
Third Rock.
Correct.
All right, that was just a guess. John Lithgow needs more work. Hey,
That's true.
Jeff and I have no power whatsoever. We have a handful of listeners that listen, but if we're passing on one message, John Lithgow needs more work. He's great. He's funny and everything.
It's true. What was the name of Shatner's character on Boston Legal, Jay?
I don't know, so I'm gonna say Dangerous Dan.
Thomas Walker, Alan Shore, or Denny Crane?
Dangerous Dan.
Dangerous Dan?
Yeah,
Okay.
Dangerous Dan.
You were close. It's
Okay.
Denny Crane.
Oh darn. All right.
In the 70s, Shatner appeared in commercials for Promise. What is Promise?
Butter. Is it margarine?
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
I was going to say, so close, Jay, so close. Shatner jokingly told Trekkies to get a life on which show in 1986, and I don't think he was actually joking.
In 1986. Oh wow.
Was it Cheers, Alf, or Saturday Night Live, Jay?
I would assume SNL, but maybe it would be Alf. I'm gonna say Alf. Why not?
You were right, your first instinct.
Okay.
It was SNL. All right, Jay. Shatner created and co-wrote a series of sci-fi novels. What was the series called?
Oh, S- Tech War.
Correct.
I knew it.
Shatner won an Emmy for his work on which series? Star Trek, Boston Legal, or The Twilight Zone?
I mean, probably Boston Legal.
Correct.
He's not gonna win it for the other two.
You don't know, Jay.
He won it for being Dangerous Dan in A Christmas Horror Story.
Before Star Trek, Shatner and Leonard Nimoy appeared together in an episode of which series? Alfred Hitchcock Presents, The Man from Uncle, or Perry Mason?
Ooh, because I think it's a fun answer. I'm gonna say Alfred Hitchcock's Presents.
Incorrect.
All right.
It's The Man from Uncle.
Okay.
In the 70s, Shatner and Nimoy appeared together on a game show billed as Kirk versus Spock. Password, Hollywood Squares, or The Pyramid?
Ooh. Okay. So if I know Hollywood Squares is like kind of like a group game, but I know it could be like it's like one person against another, but it's like they fill in the grid. So I'm trying to kind of talk my way through this. I think Password, don't they work together?
You work together with another person,
Okay.
not necessarily against your opponent.
So maybe I might be way off then. Because I was trying to say I don't think it's Password, and like maybe it could be Hollywood Squares, but that's not really Kirk versus Spock because it's a group of people and they're just kind of pulling. So whatever the third one was,
Pyramid,
yeah, I'll say Pyramid.
Correct. According to Richard Dawson, William Shatner was the first choice to play which game show host? Family Feud, Wheel of Fortune, or The Dating Game?
Ooh, knowing Shatner, I think he'd want to be on the dating game.
Incorrect. He was
Okay.
almost the host of Family Feud.
Oh man, he wanted to go. Oh well, that would have made sense because isn't Richard Dawkins the host of Family Feud?
Yes.
And Shatner's also like, oh, I could go around and kiss all the wives too.
Captain Kirk died in which Star Trek movie, Jay?
Um. Okay, so there's Star Trek One, and then there's the one where Nimoy dies, and then there's Star Trek Three, Return of Nimoy, and then there's Star Trek Four where Kirk is climbing the mountain.
Star Trek 4 is the whales,
Oh,
the
that's the
space
whales.
whales.
So sorry. So Star Trek Three is the one where Kirk climbs the mountain.
No.
Is that Star Trek Five where Kirk climbs the mountain?
No.
Which one's the one where he climbs the mountain?
Well, which mountain are you talking?
Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing the mountain? This is literally the only thing I know. Anyway, um, it's one of the ones. It's so they wind up in like it's him, and it's also Jean-Luc Picard, and Shatner like makes eggs with dill, and he's trapped in like a parallel universe, maybe by Melvar. And I'm gonna say
That's
Generations.
yes, that is the one. He finally reasoned it out. I was wondering if it's going anywhere. No, Jay, they're not trapped by Melvar. They're trapped by Sauron.
Do people who hate Star Trek did they leave early?
No, you have to stay longer.
It's Melvar with three L's. I I know how to. I think I've done enough autograph signings to know how to spell Melvar.
Shatner played the host of a Miss United States pageant in this hit 2000 film.
Oh, Miss Congeniality. April 25th is a great date.
Correct.
Not too hot, not too cold.
What was the name of Shatner's 1968 pop album?
Oh,
I'm a rocket man.
oh man.
Rocket.
I'm gonna say like
I'll give you a hint. It's either The Transformed Man, Ponder the Mystery, or The Way I Feel.
I think it's the Transformed Man.
You are correct. In his breakthrough big screen role, Shatner acted alongside Yul Brynner in the adaptation of this classic Russian novel.
I'm gonna say, all right, big screen debut.
Yul Brynner.
Yul Brynner. So I know it's not a Christmas horror story. Um, and it's a Russian thing. So I'm gonna say the Brothers Karamazov.
Correct.
Oh wow, I was just guessing.
You are correct, sir. Early in his TV career, Shatner played Ranger Bob in the Canadian version of which children's show?
Oh shit, I have no idea.
I'll give you a hint. It's either The Howdy Doody Show, Captain Kangaroo, or Rocky Jones Space Ranger.
I would love for it to be Rocky Jones Space Ranger, but I don't think that's it. I'm gonna say it's Howdy Doody.
Correct. Shatner graduated from and years later earned an honorary doctorate from which university?
The university. I'm just gonna. I mean, I'm just gonna make a joke. Moorhead State.
No. It was McGill University.
Yeah, I would have never gotten that.
How well do you know William Shatner? You got Shatner smacking himself in the face with 13 out of 20, Jay.
Oh man, I mean, for a guy who's seen very little Star Trek, I did pretty good.
For a guy who barely knows William Shatner, I'd say that's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I am also Spock.
I can't believe you got the brothers Karamazov, Jay.
I can't either. That was fun. That might be the highlight of this whole episode. Certainly not talking about going and meeting Robert Bryan Wilson and Eric Freeman.
Yeah.
But seriously, if you guys do have a chance to meet those guys, they are just awesome. They are so insanely sweet. I know people's mileage may vary. You might catch them on like an on and off day, but they had they like I said, they took the time to talk to every single person, and it was just so heartwarming to see, and like it was nice to know how much it meant to like Eric Freeman that we drove 1,700 miles or whatever to go meet him. Like he was just so pleased as punch.
Indeed.
That like when he's like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" Iowa. And he's like, "Oh, how far is that?" And we were like,
a long way.
A long way. And he was like, he was just like beaming that like two big dumb idiots would
Yeah.
drive all the way from Iowa to come to meet him, and I think it made his day and it made our day. Like, and just how nice he was.
Yes, it was nice.
But yeah, so yeah, if you ever get a chance to meet those two guys, to meet the Caldwell/Chapman brothers, do that.
Indeed.
But yeah, otherwise, yeah, all those other things I said.
Yep.
Leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice. 5 stars. Talk about how fat we are. Talk about how bad this podcast is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We only read the 5-star reviews, so
Yep.
I don't want to hear it if it's a 1-star review.
Don't care.
Yep, don't give a shit. Only 5 stars. Also, tell a friend or tell an enemy if you hate this show.
Yes. That also works for us.
Yeah, no, both those things are great. But yeah, otherwise, we'll see you again. Hopefully next week with another stocking stuffer. Maybe what's the deal with them werewolves?
Yep. What's the deal with them werewolves, Jim?
Why them werewolves so hairy?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do an episode about that. Who knows?
Werelissy, is that a thing?
Ka-chow. Thanks for listening.
Thanks again to Spencer and Rob for showing us around the con.
Yeah, no, that was great. They were very cool dudes. It was very nice to meet them. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Goodbye.
Bye. All right, so I was thinking about something like this. All right. In April of 2020.
I like it so far.
In April of 2024, 2 podcasters disappeared in the woods. Damn, not in the woods.
The Pine Barrens of New Jersey.
What would it be? Inside the hilt of Parsippany.
In a world where 2 podcasters disappear.
So it'd be something like, "That's it, Jeff. I'm throwing out this map."
That's great. We'll have to do something at the end too.
I'm so scared.